How cool are hologram stickers? I feel like a kid again.
Hey guys, Justin here from the Camera Life, day 12 of my 30-day photography challenge, and today we're going to be doing some macro-ish product shots here in my office. That's right, I'm not venturing out today. I've got a lot on. I'm heading camping with my nephew this afternoon, so I've got a heap of packing to do. So instead, I've actually got some fine product detail shots that I need to do of some embossing plates for our camera straps, and some textures, and also a limited edition strap that we made for the Canon R5 Mark II with Canon Australia. So I'm not anywhere near where we normally do our product shots. I'm going to be using this space here, which is my home office workspace, and I'm going to see what we can make of it. Let's give it a go. All right, so I'm going to be using the R3 for a lot of these shots with the 35mm 1.8 RF, which is a macro lens. Not super high production, I think it's not 1:1. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't do a lot of macro shooting, but it's not, a true macro shooter's lens, but it does do a great job considering it's also a versatile, lightweight prime lens. So I'm going to use that. I might also use the Q3 for a couple of shots because it does have a macro mode as well. So if I need to put the R3 in any shots, I might use the Q3 and have a play around with that. But first of all, I'm going to take this camera strap off the Q3 because I'll probably use a tripod for some of the shots, and that'll just help make things a little bit less cluttered. And also, this is one of the things that I need to photograph, is this well-used camera strap. We just launched this color recently. I don't know if you guys are able to see it in this dim office, but we just launched this color recently, but I've actually been testing this one for close to a year. So it's got a really nice, I don't know if you can see those textures, but I want to get some shots of that so I can show what it looks like once it's worn in. All right, I'll give you a little bit of a look at what we're working with. Check it out. This is what happens when you're not super organized and you do a lot of different things. So this is where I do the podcast. This is where I do all my work and editing, all the work for Lucky, other than the hands-on packing and stuff like that is in a different location. And this is what happens sometimes. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. A lot of this stuff I'm going to pack to take away with me tonight, and it's just kind of on the floor. So you know, sometimes this is what offices look like. They're not always YouTube perfect. As for light sources, I've got two of these Godox TL30s, which are pretty cheap, really. They're 100 Australian dollars for lights. That's one of them up there on the stand. You can select any color you want. You can just cycle through the different colors. So I might use one of them for like a colored accent light, and I'll use one for a main light. I've also got the Aperture 120D2, the Lightstorm up there. That's like my main podcasting light, and it's got a softbox with a grid on it. I don't know if I'll use that today. I really can't be bothered moving it. It's kind of well set up for what I use it for. So we'll see. I might use it, I might not, but hopefully I can get away with just using these little things. I've also got the window light, which I may or may not use because of what's going on outside with our strange yellow veranda thing. It actually provides kind of a cool glow on this desk sometimes, and that could be handy. So that sort of yellow glow that you're seeing on the screen is just coming through the window, but I'll probably end up closing that off so I can control the whole situation. So one of the main things that I want to shoot today is this plate. I'll lower this light down a bit. This plate that we used to make the new limited edition Canon R5 Mark II strap. I'll show you what it actually looked like. This is a design by Kentaro Yoshida, an artist who lives in Sydney, Australia, and he designed this for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II limited edition strap that the first 1,000 R5s that go out in Australia and New Zealand will come with this strap, which is pretty sweet. But what I want to do is get some detail shots of this plate that we had to have made to put the artwork onto the leather strap. So what I was thinking was I'd like to prop it up. What can I use to prop this up? Do you think a 16mm lens will do the trick? Perfect. So I'd like to prop it up so I can shoot that direction. I'll probably have to close that window to stop letting light through. And I'm gonna put this light, hopefully you guys can see what's happening. So let's just start there and do a couple of tests. All right. Not sure why ISO's gone into auto, but anyway. It's actually going to move it a little bit closer so it's kind of directly underneath the light. We're going to get, because of the angle I've got this going on, we're going to get a little bit more brightness on that side of the frame, but I'll stop it down a little bit and I'll deal with the backgrounds once I figure out what I want to do. I think that does a pretty good job of showing off the detail. Now let's close these blinds. Don't look at my cords. Okay, look at them. Ugh. All right, let's see what we're dealing with now. And I'm going to turn the rest of these lights off. So who knows what you guys will be able to see. Doesn't look too bad, hopefully. Yeah. Getting there. That's interesting. You can see the reflection of my hand holding the camera. Might have to get some gloves. Or if I hold it this way, it minimizes it. All right. Let's get this one. All right. Now, what happens? I'm not sure what this is going to look like. It looks a little bit too sort of, yeah, because it's going to be out of focus if I put this strap laying down along there. I just wanted to add something to the frame, but it's so sort of striking. I'm worried that it's just going to be distracting in the foreground without being in, you know, it's not out of focus enough, but it's also kind of needs to be, what if it was on an angle? That's better, I think. I wonder if I can stop it down enough. To get kind of both in focus enough for it to work. I'm starting to get the the lens in the background. Maybe I need a better prop. That's just as big. What's heavy but smaller than a lens? Do you guys think a LP E6 battery would hold this up? Cool. All right. So we're dealing with a little bit of blue light reflecting off the back there. Look, obviously, in an ideal situation, I would just get rid of all this stuff, but you know what? A little red ring in the background probably wouldn't hurt. And then I'm going to get in close and get rid of it. Bring that hopefully close enough to catch enough focus that it doesn't look out of focus. What do you guys think? How close can we get on this? Let's get a little bit more light on it. So I've just brought the light forward a little bit so it gets a bit more on the front. You can see that it's lit it up more. And I've just rolled it away from the camera a little bit as well. I'm going to open up the aperture so the background is blurry, but that means I have to be a lot more precise with my focal plane. Make sure I'm square onto the plate. You can definitely see the detail in there. I've got a mouse pad. I might see if I can use one of our mouse pads as a bit of a background texture. You guys see that? What do you think? Does it look okay? Maybe I'll be able to hold it steady at a 30th so I can close down a bit. Make sure I get plenty in focus. All right. There we go. Okay, that should do. So, next thing is I've got these new stickers, which are holographic, which I really like. And so I wanted to get a shot showing those off. Hopefully that doesn't blind you guys. And I thought I could use the sticker sheet to do that. Pretty cool. All right, go get that lens out of there. Rotate this down a bit. I'm going to use the lights in the background. I'm going to stop down to ISO 100. I'm going to drop my aperture to about 3.5, get enough in focus, but also have some decent blur in the background. Using the Rodecaster Pro lights on this side and then my Lacy hard drive light on that side, just to add a little bit of interest into the background. And there, that's our new box.
Might go lower. Let's see if you guys can see that, to try and square the box up a bit more. It's hard for me to see this from this angle, so I'm hoping I'm getting the top framed up square. Yeah, I'm going to try that at F1.8 just out of interest. And let's stop down again and get in closer for a shot of a macro shot of our new sticker. Hang on, sorry, coming in. Here we go. How's that? Let's stop down more. As your subject gets closer to the camera, obviously for macro, your depth of field just shrinks like really fast. So, you know, when you would normally be shooting it like F2, trying to get a nice blurry background, once you get in this close and your subject is this close to the lens, you know, you really do want to be at like F5.6, F8 or something like that to try and get some reasonable focus if you're not focusing absolutely perfect square on. Like I'm on a little bit of an angle here on purpose. And if I didn't have this at F5.6, there's definitely no way it would all be readable or sharp anyway. All right. How cool are hologram stickers? I feel like a kid again. Just increase the brightness just a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've programmed my ISO to go up in full stops. So I go straight from ISO 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600. I just find that a much easier way for me to work. I'm still at a third of a stop on my aperture and my shutter speed, but I like full stops on my ISO. It just it makes more sense. It's kind of more like film speed. So I just select where I'm working and I fine tune with the other settings. I find it really quick to change going inside to outside and that kind of thing. And I like it. Oh, I like this shot. What do you guys think about that? Now, if I get the sticker in focus, the lucky straps is out of focus. So I'm going to stop down even further. F8. Let's see. Now I'm going to try it without that light in the background. That blue light shining through might have been a bit distracting. Look, not perfect. Background's a bit distracting, but for not really setting up a studio, this is going well. All right, let's do some textures with this strap. Okay. Once again, I'm going to use the lights of the roadcaster in the background, and then so I'm just tilting it to catch more light on the front here. Oh yeah. Almost looks like my white balance is set to flash, but almost looks too warm. I'm just gonna set it to like 5,000 instead of 5,500, even though that's what the lights are set to, but just looked a little bit too warm. I'm gonna get in nice and close on that texture. I'm gonna stop down to F5.6, just try and handhold it at the 30th, ISO 200. Plenty of that background. Can you guys see that? Try and get the end. It's opened up to ISO 400. I think I want to catch a bit more light. So to do that, so at the moment the light's coming down like this, a little bit of an angle and softness coming from the fact that this is a long tube instead of a little point like a flash. But what I want to do is get more light on the front face instead of so much coming down from the top. So I'm going to lower the light like that, but then also tilt it back just a little bit, which will throw a little bit more on the background. So I might roll it this way a little. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Better for a close-up of the end. Cool. All right. And look, I'm running short of time. So instead of doing everything I had planned, might have to save some of these other plates for another day. The one other thing I did want to get a shot of today was this new basket weave style black leather textured strap, which is very stealth ninja, which is pretty sweet. I'd really just like to get a close-up shot of the texture of this. We haven't released this yet, and when we do, it'll probably be a limited edition. I'm not sure. I'm sure you're enjoying watching me fiddle around with straps, but this is the life of product photography. If you've never done it before, most of it is in the positioning. Might use this battery again to hold these down, just because I really just want to get this leather texture. I'm not too fussed on the ends. Yeah, just that. That's what I'm looking for. And for this one, I might even turn the roadcaster off. Maybe I'll put the 50mm in the background just as a little something. We'll see what that looks like. You know, the people that know what an L series lens looks like will know. Really just want to, basically a teaser image. You know what I should do? I've got a grid for this. I'm going to put that on. Hold on. As you can see, I haven't used this yet. These lights are pretty new. How does this work? Like that. Just little elastic things that go over the top. And so a grid basically directs the light in a very narrow area by, you know, filtering it down this way and this way so it doesn't spread out all over the desk, which means I'll be able to lift it up a little bit more and just basically, hopefully we're getting like a sliver of light down here, and we should get less on the background. Yeah, see that? So it has reduced our light a little bit, so I'm going to have to increase the ISO. I'm going to drop, so let's see, so a 30th, 5.6, 400. I'll put this a little bit further back. Just want it to be just visible enough. See how I can bring it in and out of the background like that? It's funny. I kind of like it hitting the 50, but I don't like it hitting the Rodecaster. So how could I do that differently? What I could do is move this a bit closer to put it on the right side of the frame. Use my battery again to hold my tails that are normally attached to the camera. So we do that. And then, as you guys can see, I'll get it sorted so that it's on the right side of the frame. I have to deal with this blue light. Put a lens in front of it. Done. I'll brighten this up a bit so you can see better. And then we bring the 50 million there, which currently looks a little bit too distracting, but once we bring the exposure to where we wanted it to, I'm hoping this is going to work. A little bit of light coming in from the window behind, but look, that'll do for today. I can always fix it in post. All right, here we go. Last shot of the day.
Well, that's it for me today, guys. I'm not a professional product photographer. I do this for Lucky Camera Straps, my business. When I've worked as a professional photographer, it's been usually with people or sports and that kind of thing, but it's something that I do enjoy doing. You've just got to be patient and take your time, and today I didn't have a lot of time, so didn't get to using the Leica Q3 today, but I will use it in a future video. So if you're interested in the macro possibilities of the Leica Q3, drop a comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see me shoot with it. And otherwise, day 12 in the books, day 13, let's see what we get.